Good evening on a somber day, somber night. Before we start our show tonight about the Oscars, on behalf of all of us, myself, Buckets, Az, and Bray, we send our deepest condolences to Summer, Brooke, and Jackson, and Shane's ex, all his immediate family, his mum and dad, and the community of cricket and fans everywhere worldwide, and his brother. Shane, we're going to miss you. We love you. And let's just have a minute silence, please. Okay. Tonight's conversation. I am Kat.
I'm Buckets.
I'm Aaron.
Right. Brayden,
Yes.
introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah, I did. I said I'm Brayden.
Okay, cool. So we are missing Sans Leon, who unfortunately can't join us tonight. He's doing his radio show in the morning. Okay, so tonight's topic is a controversial one, but we've tried to write the questions, the four of us, in respect to what this topic is going to be about. It's a Cat Space special about the Oscars. So during the Oscars, Chris Rock made in poor taste joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, and Will Smith was seen laughing and then got up the stage and slapped Chris Rock on the face. Chris did not react. He just stood there.
Oh, you react pretty hard. You got knocked the F out.
Yeah, but he didn't lash back. So, and both men have formally apologized, but not to each other. The first question I want to ask is, was Will Smith's actions justified, and did he go too far, Brayden?
He did. I think he did go too far. I think the way in which he said he went on stage after he got his award and then said that he did it out of love. I just think it was just so poorly executed. And I think maybe he thought this was the way to handle it. It surely wasn't, especially on the Oscars, on a televised program. So maybe not. I think he could have handled that way better.
Aaron?
This is the way I see it. If a woman did that, they'd be marched off the stage straight away. But because a man did it, nobody could be seen to give a damn, basically.
I would throw in the other curveball, which is if Will Smith was white. If Will Smith was white and he beat up a black man, how do you think he would ever work in the industry ever again? And I don't think he would. I think maybe the Academy might give him a slap on the wrist, to be honest. But at the end of the day, because he's black, they'll probably just say to him, "Oh, this behavior shouldn't be tolerated." But I think they'll probably let him get away with it because of the color of his skin.
The way I see things is that he handled it in the most disrespectful manner. Yes, he was standing up for his wife, but when you are on live television and you're someone of importance and you have a movie coming and you've made a movie on live television where billions around the world are watching this live happen, first reaction I thought was, oh, it's staged. They've already planned this. They know about this.
Yeah, because it looked a bit funny, didn't
It
it?
looked a bit, it did look a bit funny.
Yeah.
But then when you study it and you hear it, and you could hear the silence in the room and the slap that was heard around the world, I thought, you are inappropriate. It is disrespectful. Violence is not the place. Violence is not the answer. I don't condone violence. I think this was him lashing out. Could he have been nervous about his nomination or possibly winning for the first time? Was he having other issues? I think when you look at mental and emotional health and well-being, I think he sent a message around the world that, you know, oh, this is okay when it's not. What are you teaching our children, your children and kids around the world, that beating someone up is okay when it's not? I personally believe it's disgusting behavior.
Yeah.
It should have never, ever have happened.
The thing is, if Will Smith didn't swear, what everyone would have just seen that as, oh no, this is an act. It's part of the show. The Oscars is normally boring most of the time, and you know, this is just their way of livening up things up a bit because, hey, Chris Rock is a comedian and he didn't swing back, so it must be part of the show. And it wasn't like a fist, it was a slap, just for people to get the message, but to kind of laugh about it. But when he started yelling profanities, that silenced the entire room. And it scared everyone because all of a sudden it was like, hang on, you've gone from what everyone considered to be a joke and could be potentially an act to a really dangerous guy in the room that no one wants to mess with. So that's what I say about that.
To be honest, speaking of Will Smith, let's study Chris Rock. Chris Rock is a well-renowned comedian. Okay, selling out venues everywhere. He can be offensive, but the thing is, what was said in the media and what I read was he did not alert producers, he did not alert directors, he did not alert the Academy. He was supposed to come out, read what's on the teleprompter, hand out the award, and leave off stage. Except he decided to crack a joke that was in poor form, shape, and taste to Will Smith's wife, who obviously suffers from a health condition. It's an autoimmune disease called alopecia. And he wasn't aware that Smith's wife had or has this condition. And this is what I want to ask in the next question to you all. Question 2 is, why wasn't the media focusing on Jada and how she felt?
Because it wasn't Jada that really reacted. I mean, she reacted with her eyes, but it wasn't Jada that punched out Chris Rock. It was Will Smith that punched out Chris Rock. But I think that they should have focused on Jada, to be perfectly honest, because this whole fight is about Jada. If you look at the camera carefully, Will Smith was laughing about that joke that Chris Rock made.
Yeah.
Okay? He really was. There was genuine laughter. And then all of a sudden, Jada gave him basically a death stare to say, if you don't do something, then I'm going to leave you for another man. And then he basically reacted and hit Chris Rock. And as we all know, Jada basically has an open relationship and literally has no problem sleeping with other men.
Are we allowed to say that though?
Yes, we are, because I think it's the truth. It's not a lie. And we would be fools not to mention that, even though both of them have accepted that as the way of their life. But I think it is kind of an important point to mention because, you know, Will Smith can't just go, I'm going to attack a comedian, even though it was in poor taste, and then go up on live stage and goes, I'm going to protect the moralities of what I'm going to protect my people. Like he's this moral crusader that's meant to be defending the world when he's not exactly living a moral life
Yeah.
himself.
Brayden?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Jada should have been the focus. I mean, I did hear in the news that she did she's recently spoke up about the situation. I haven't read anything on it, so as of now, but what I can say is that nonetheless, she should have been the focus because the situation was about her. And I mean, what Chris said was ableist. It was an ableist comment on a televised program. And I think that this is what I don't understand about Will Smith actions. Look, is he defending Jada? Yeah, probably, but it just goes back to the whole, well, you know, the attention's been taken off of Jada and now put on Will because he's the one who made this big scene out of it. It doesn't sit right with me because basically a Black woman who's suffering was at the brunt of all this. So yeah, that's my views on it.
You make a very strong,
Yeah.
both you and as do. Here's the third question, which connects that to that. Was it Will Smith's wife Jada's health condition, or was it a cocktail of other issues that made him lose control, lose his temper? Buckets.
I reckon it was a cocktail of a whole bunch of issues, not just not just this one incident. I mean, certainly this is the first time that Will Smith has actually won an Academy Award for anything that he's done, even though we all basically see him as a superstar. We've known him since the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's a musician. He's a very successful musician. This is the first time, like a lot was riding on him winning this. And I think with the great tenacity that he had with treating his co-stars as family, he's done that in other shows before. He's definitely done that in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He did it with the last movie that he made, which is basically why he won an Academy Award, because it was he really did treat it like a family. He was like a family figure. So, and that was well seen. But I think also that, if something Chris Rock said upset him, he could have easily gone on the ad break and said, look, I'd appreciate it if you didn't talk about my wife in that way ever again. You've done it in 2016. I don't want you making fun of my wife ever again. He didn't have to do it on camera. He could have literally waited just 2 minutes until the Oscars had an ad break and literally approached Chris Rock. And that would have been fine. Because he didn't do that and he made everyone watch it, it was like he's kind of put himself to shame, but he's also put the Academy to shame as well. And I think that's a real problem.
Aaron, what do you think?
I do think it's a cocktail of other things that's been going on, because they do have a history of because Chris Rock has said something. He said something in 2016 at the Oscars about them, and then I read somewhere that he didn't like that either, because obviously they weren't at the Oscars that year, and So maybe he had that in mind when he did what he did.
Braden?
Okay, things. I completely understand that argument. I'm not gonna completely disregard it. But the thing is, right, there's such a gap between the two situations. The first one happened in 2016. And look, I'm not one to sit here and say that you shouldn't be offended because of what someone said about your spouse. Of course, if someone calls your spouse, profanity or makes an awful joke about them, about something that they can't change about themselves, yes, absolutely. But really, is there anything else to back up the claim that both Will and Chris originally had beef? Is there anything to back that up other than the 2016 joke? And speaking of Will's behavior, I don't know. It's giving toxic masculinity because I don't.
Say how you feel.
I don't exactly know how he decided to react in such a almost just such a crazy way. It felt very sudden and out of nowhere. I think.
In response to that, I think that Will Smith's wife, Jada, probably urged Will Smith to do something or to say something then and there. And I think, to be honest, she's pulling the strings here. And what happened was Will Smith basically got all the attention and all the bad press, whilst Jada got away scot-free. She's not being punished by the Academy. Chris Rock is getting punished, and so is Will Smith. But Jada, who it was basically about to begin with, is getting off scot-free. Okay.
She did post something to her Instagram saying, sorry for cutting out, for saying that there is a road to healing and she's here for it. Yes, there is a road or path to healing, but when you are representing two of the biggest global athletes on planet Earth, Venus and Serena Williams, the Williams family, their legacy. Okay, this is their legacy. And their father actually spoke out and said, I don't condone what Will Smith did. This is not how we do things. I don't condone the violence. I don't condone him slapping him. He was completely in the wrong. He shouldn't have done it. It shouldn't have happened. What do you all think?
Well, it's interesting that you say that because Jaden Smith, his son, literally said, this is how we do things. And I found that comment to be
A bit
well, I found it more controversial than what the Williams sisters family and the Williams family basically said. So I thought that that response was basically like, bring it on kind of thing. And I do understand that Will Smith did actually apologize to Chris Rock, but he didn't apologize on the night
to him
directly. It took him 2-3 days for him to actually do that, but he apologized to the Academy first to kind of wipe his butt so that his career would be affected. And I think that's a real big problem.
Here's the thing, right? Okay. So I've heard everything that's been said, and what the point that I was originally going to make that just completely escaped my brain, unfortunately, was that I don't think Jada exactly basically created this barrage of behaviors that Will execute. I don't think that he was the one. I don't think that she exactly coerced him to doing that, because I think her reaction was quite understandable. Like, if someone was to stand up on stage and make a joke about
Yeah.
my disability, yeah, I'd be like, bitch, what the fuck? And roll my eyes and whatever. But I think that the reason why Will Smith acted the way he did was because if he didn't and he just sat there, I think people would have been like, oh, see, he's a pussy. He doesn't want to stand up for his wife. And I think that because of society and how toxic masculinity is so embedded into the patriarchal system, he thought, okay, I need to be the man. I need to stand up and slap this bitch in the face. And I think that's what really happened.
But then Oprah recognized that. Sorry, it wasn't Oprah. Whoopi Goldberg
Whoopi
recognized
Goldberg,
that,
yeah.
and she turned it around and said, "No, this is toxic masculinity." So it's like
Yeah.
a damned if you do or a damned,
Damned
if you don't. So my problem with this is, if Will Smith didn't defend his wife, the press would have been after him going, "Oh, you didn't defend a woman." But because he did defend his wife, he said, "Oh, well, he's obviously,
Ostracized himself.
he's obviously this is obviously toxic masculinity at work, and this is part of the patriarchy and why it's so oppressive." And I'm like, leave the guy alone.
Okay, tell me that we're running out of time. We've got 9 minutes. Okay, so
Already?
question, do you think the incident itself took away what the Oscars was really about, i.e. Coda winning the first Academy Award for a deaf mute movie, for a deaf actor?
Yes.
I think it took away what the Oscars was really about, supporting peers supporting each other, winning
Yeah.
Academy Awards,
Yeah.
celebratory of films I've never even heard of before, and films I'd like to see, films I've seen before. I think it took away because it brought attention to themselves. Quickly, what do you all think?
See, one of the things I remember about Coda and how they basically applauded the people that made Coda. Apparently, this is an applause for deaf people, and I that was great. That was fantastic. It was a bit woke, but I thought it was a step in the right direction. But the minute that Will Smith did what he did, it's like he took that victory away from Coda and the whole deaf community and the bridge that they set up. And I was like, Will Smith, you are incredibly selfish. And the other thing is,
insensitive.
Where was Chris Rock's security? No one protected him. No one stopped Will Smith from slapping Will Smith. Okay, they just wanted to see where it would go. And then, Chris Rock had to explain, look, it's a joke about G.I. Jane, nothing personal. And he just kept going. If that was like a regular Joe, he would have been escorted, thrown out, and there would have been criminal charges. But what did Chris Rock do? He literally did not charge him, even though they asked, do you want to file criminal charges? And Chris Rock said, no, I don't want to file criminal charges against Will Smith.
Okay, we've got about 7 minutes left. Boys, quickly, as Philip said, where was the security when this all went down? Obviously, the awards have security, because we all know celebrities dress up, they wear their suits, their dresses, makeup, jewelry, etc. And there are security with them to make sure that they don't, leave with the jewelry. But where was the security, fully knowing that this incident went down? Have the security did anyone actually bother to check in on Chris Rock and say, Hey, how you feeling? Are you okay? What's running through your mind?
Yeah, do you need
Do you need,
CPR?
do you need, no, not CPR.
First aid or whatever?
Do you need
Yeah.
first aid? Are you
Mm.
injured on your face? Checked his face? No, nobody checked his face. Nobody checked on security. Where was security? Just
No,
quickly.
they just let him basically go on stage and he
Yeah.
just did it.
Just quickly.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
if that would have been a normal person, like security would have gone on stage and grabbed that person like away from Chris Rock basically. But because it was Will Smith, like, and they're probably scared of him, they
I
did
think they're
nothing.
really scared of him. I think they just don't care because he's the rich, wealthy elite, typical black person, and it would look bad in today's society to basically arrest, cuff, and bring down a black person today. That would be seen as a really racist move. And so there is kind of a fear that, if we do this on television, how is the Academy Awards going to look like? Yeah, sure, I can see that sort of fear, but they should have protected him.
Last question from all of us. Should Will Smith have his Academy Award removed from him? Should he be banned as well? Should he be banned from future award shows, Golden Globes, Oscars, Academy Awards, all these kind of award shows? Should he be banned? And should he have his award taken from him quickly? Go.
No, I don't. And I'll tell you why. Because the amount of work that was put into making that movie, and for suddenly someone to take away Will Smith's medal wouldn't just diminish Will Smith, it would diminish all the cast that put in work into that movie. So that's therefore, I don't think you'd be just punishing Will Smith. You'd be punishing everyone that worked on that movie, including the Williams sisters.
Braden?
So I don't think so.
Okay. I'm gonna mention race, and I'm gonna say that and other people that had been in this situation, right? There have been countless people in the industry, and specifically men, horrible men, that have gotten away with doing pedophilia and rape and sexual assault, right? And everyone has just let them go past. So for a situation like this, no, I don't think so, because then it would just it just wouldn't make sense if the Academy Award can let someone get away with something so severe as like pedophilia, SA, etc., then why would they go on to sit here and be like, yeah, you're banned from the Grammys and you're banned from the Oscars and Academy Awards and whatnot because you slapped the person in the face? Like the two behaviors are two completely different things. If an actor was to do something that horrible, then absolutely. But Will Smith just fucked someone on stage. And I think in that case, they're saying he should be given a slap on the wrist.
Okay. Well, let's finish off in the 3 minutes we got left. To our subscribers and viewers, what do you think? Should he be banned from all future Academy Awards? Should he have his Academy Awards stripped off of him? Will he get a slap on the wrist? Will they both be in trouble? And last I'm going to say is him and his wife went to in the 2 minutes and 59 seconds, tell me, in the Vanity Fair Oscar after party, Vanity Fair party. He was seen with the Oscar in his hand with his wife in tow, her head down, dancing and singing to his own music, acting as if nothing had happened. I think in future, all Academy Awards should double down and make sure this incident does not go global again. What does our audience and subscribers think? We would like to know. There is a subscribe button right here. Click on that. There's a little bell next to it.
Somewhere over here.
Somewhere over here. There's a little bell next to it.
It's wherever.
As Braden is showing you. There's a little bell
down here.
see the comment section. Let us know what you think of tonight's episode.
Yeah.
And if you think he should be banned, if his award should be taken from him,
Maybe you'd like to
And-
list a punishment for him. I don't know.
or will you still be siding, whose side are you on, whose team are you on, and if you'll be watching his movies any further. I guess we have officially run out of time. Thank you so much for joining us, Buckets, Brayden and Aaron, and we will see you guys soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.